Welcome, welcome to each of you this morning, and thank you for joining together for our class today. Month in review, and here we are, January 2025. Throughout our practices these weeks of early part of this new year, we have held the intention of beginning the new year with our yoga and focusing on beginner's body, 2, beginner's mind, and 3, beginner's spirit. So your yoga invitation throughout this class today is to focus on your beginner's body, beginner's mind, and beginner's spirit. Namaste. Let's gift ourselves a few precious moments and come into some centering stillness. Yoga begins by stopping. Stop the agenda outside your mat and arrive fully. Following the rhythm of your breathing, and gift yourself these precious moments to fully arrive today. Receive a deep and full, expanded breath. And let that breath go, giving it back, emptying yourself to receive again, to fill yourself with this gift of life, breath. And with your very next breath, we'll begin warming into our practice today from this easy seated pose. Whatever serves you today, begin to reach the arms outwards. Let them circle all the way upwards. Turning the palms outwards, release the arms down. Now notice if you can begin just to flow with breath in these 2 little warming movements. Receiving breath as arms open and reach, and releasing breath as the arms circle down. Next time your arms have been lifted high above you, pause for just a moment. Relax the shoulder blades down. Spread the fingers apart and reach the arms forward. Reach through those fingertips and then gently bring the right arm underneath your left arm, a little shoulder opening, elbow bends. Receive the next breath. Release this breath and allow that right forearm just help guide your left arm over to the right. So you're just warming here, just noticing your presence on your mat, taking a little personal inventory. One more breath. Nicely done. Come back to your center. Reopen both arms out to the wingspan. Circle them up high, reaching through the fingertips, and then we'll interlace the fingers this time. Elbows soften to spin the palms up. Lift through the palms of your hands. We'll begin warming as we review this beginner's body. So feel the lengthening through the sides of your body. Notice the alignment, connection with breath. And as you release this breath, elbows soften once again. Palms come to the back of your head. Bring the thumbs down to the sides of your neck. Release a breath. Start to bow forward. Elbows draw towards each other. Body bows, bows. Keep bowing forward. Release a breath. Move into the practice a little deeper. Another beginner's body skill with your yoga is to balance your effort and your ease. So one more breath. And then we'll all come back up into that center. Body is lifting, elbows are opening, and we slowly let the right elbow come down over to the right. Let's turn our head, gaze up to the left elbow. Just explore. Begin to discover some aspects of your beginner's body here that will bring you into this pose fully. And let's come back to center. The receiving breath. We bring our body back into the center. Slide the fingers apart. Feel them sliding away from each other. Reopen the arms through the wingspan. Circle them all the way up. Turn the palms out. Circle the arms down. One more time. This time when the arms begin to reach and rise, we're going to keep them lifted. Palms are facing each other. Fingers are spread wide. Shoulders are releasing down. Bringing your body into alignment with breath connection. And release a deepened breath. Reach through the fingertips. Arms are straight out in front of you. Fingers are reaching far, far away. Circle the left arm under the right. Bend that elbow. Release the breath. Let the left forearm just guide that right arm over to the right. So what rhythm with movement and breath have you chosen for this practice? Are you keeping focused on this alignment with the breath? The beginner's body in yoga. And one more breath. Release it deep. Reach over to the left and receive. Slowly start to come back into the center. Reopen the arms out wide through the wingspan. Circle them all the way up. This time interlace the fingers. Spin the palms up. Lift through the palms. Lift and reach up. One breath. Fully experience Discover something new with your body today and release the breath. Elbows soften. Palms come to the back of the head. Receive a breath. Open the elbows wider. Aha. Release the breath. Start to bow forward. Hip hinge. Elbows draw towards each other. You keep bowing into your practice. Notice where the elbows can travel towards each other. Notice where the hips can hinge you. Notice the physical sensations of your body with one more deepened breath. And then we'll rise up together. We start to lift the body back into the center. Elbows are wide, wide, wide. Heart center has lifted. Release the breath. Now the left elbow travels down towards your mat. The right elbow travels up towards the ceiling. Gaze up if that feels right. Gaze forward if that feels right. One more releasing breath into the fullness of your practice. Open through the body and release. Come back to the center. Nicely done. Separate the fingers slowly. Feel them slide across the back of your head. Reopen the arms through the wingspan. And then gently bring the palms down to the thighs or the knees. Receive the next breath. Transition to tabletop. We'll begin warming into our energizing now. So tabletop, remember alignment with that. Knees below hips, wrists below shoulders. Some days you may need your props to help guide your practice into the fullness of what's available. Some days not. Some days you might fold your fingers in to support your arms and protect the wrists. Some days maybe not. This is the beginner's body in yoga. So receive the next breath in your tabletop. And when you release that breath, we're going to come down to forearms. So the forearms come down. Let's separate the fingers wide. Can we even let the thumbs touch each other or close to each other as the fingers spread wide? And if you want to check in with alignment, ragdoll arms, opposite hands on elbows. Bring those elbows right underneath your shoulders and then place the forearms down, fingers wide. One more nice breath in your forearm tabletop and flow through your spinal waves. Releasing breath, tailbone tucking, back body lifting and rounding upwards, head bowing down. Receive the breath. Tailbone begins to lift. Crown of the head lifts lightly. Flow one more time, please. We'll begin to focus on the beginner's mind in our warm to energize sequence. When that practice is completed and you're back in neutral, slowly gaze down at your knees and then step one leg back to the tippy toes, forearm plank. We're going to take a couple breaths here today so that you can notice that inner alignment and then begin to notice, where are the movements of my mind going right here? What's happening as I try to hold this forearm plank? Does my mind tell my body and my ego to give up? You can't do this. Get down on the knees. Or how about one more breath? Everybody. And then slowly, we're going to just lift that left leg up. Lift it up and then bring it down. One more. Receive a breath. Lift it up and bring it down. Nicely done. Come down to the knees. Reprieve, body and mind. And slowly, we're going to transition to dolphin. So the toes are going to tuck under. The forearms are going to stay down. Fingers wide. Alignment right. Beginner's mind engages curiosity. So how is this dolphin going to go today? Receive the breath. Start to hover the knees. Start to lift the hips. Maybe you walk the toes in just a degree. Maybe you don't. 2 more nice deep breaths. Dolphin pose. What's curious here? Yeah, can you let go of expectations, judgments? Yeah. Receive this next breath. Slowly and gently bring the knees back down, tops of the feet down. Come back into your tabletop forearm and the spinal wave. Tailbone tucks as you release the breath. Head bows. Receive the breath. Tailbone, crown of the head start to lift together. Come back to neutral. Here we go again. Receive a breath. Stretch out the opposite leg first for forearm plank. Do you remember which one that was? Curious? Okay, and then the other. Here we go. 3 breaths. Tailbone tucking. Shoulder blades broadening. Forearms pressing. And when those 3 breaths are done, right leg reaches up. Coming back down. Lift it up. Bring it back down. Slowly knees come down. Gently tuck the toes. Start to transition dolphin. Hover the knees. Lift the hips. Walk in with the toes. Play with the feet and legs. Heels up and down like you walking the dog. 1 more breath. Got it. And release. Back to the tabletop. Slowly begin to stretch out those arms. Slowly flow through a spinal wave. Yeah. Just let your body flow into something familiar now. And then gently transition to downward dog. Toes tuck. Reaching the hips back. Hovering the knees up. Lifting the hips. Downward dog. Heels up, heels down. Singularly or together. With beginner's mind, and you begin to let go of expectations, judgments. You can open into this curiosity and present moment. Receive a nice deepened breath, and then slowly begin walking meditation, or maybe your body wants that big giant steps to the top of your mat. Feel the presence. There you go. And come into a soft forward fold, maybe ragdoll. With the very next breath, we're going to rise. Arms reach out. Body lifts up. Palms turn up. Arms circle up. I'm going to turn to the long edge of my mat to face the camera. Please stay where you are. So you're in your upward salute. And then let's interlace the fingers again. Soften the elbows. Lift through the palms of your hands. Now, can you feel a deeper, full lengthening all the way from the palms of your hands to the soles of your feet? And when you release the breath, softly turn the palms down. Separate the fingers in the air. As you open the arms to the wingspan, muscular energize the left leg. Soften the right knee. Find your drishti. To keep a steady mind is to keep a steady focus. And then pick up that right foot. And your fingers go underneath the right thigh, just so you know you're there. Soften the shoulders. We'll do one more breath. And then we'll release the breath. And the right leg slowly comes down. And the arms open out. Now we're going to flow through a chair sequence. So soften the knees. Let the knees keep softening. Arms keep reaching. And then slowly turn the palms down and create airplane arms. Palms face each other or palms up. Airplane arms. And then let's see if we can lift the torso just another little degree or two. And then notice if you can tuck the tailbone. Let go of expectations, judgments, this competition. Arrive fully, stay present, be curious. Beginner's mind. And receive the next breath. The releasing breath. Arms will release now. They're going to reach forward. Palms touch each other. Softly place the thumbs onto the heart center. Hip hinge a little deeper. Prepare. Set up your body. Prayer twist. Slowly start to turn to the right. Bringing your left elbow to the inner right thigh on top or the outer edge. Palms press. One more nice deepened breath. Gaze up at the elbow. Nice. And release. Bring the forearms back together. Softly bring the thumbs back to your heart center. Receive. Rise. Upward salute. Lift. Reach. And then softly interlace the fingers again. Elbows soften. Palms spin. Up, up, up. One more breath. Beginner's body. Alignment with breath. Beginner's mind. Letting go of expectations and judgments and competitions so we can be present and release the breath. As the palms turn down, fingers slide apart, arms open through the wingspan. Engage the right leg, muscular energy. Soften the left knee. Find your drishti. Pick up your left foot. Fingers underneath the left thigh. You can play with the toes going up and down. Or not. And gently bring that left leg down. Let the arms rise all the way up again. Upward salute. Here comes your chair pose or fierce pose little sequence. Soften the knees. Open the arms. Tuck the tailbone in, hug the core muscles, and then airplane arms. Transition those wingspan arms into your airplane arms today. Release the next breath. Arms release down. They reach forward, palms, fingers, thumbs touch. We draw the thumbs to the heart. We start to hip hinge a little deeper. Feel the tailbone reach back when the hips hinge. Feel the chest drawing a little bit closer towards your thighs. And then turn to your left and follow your body as the right elbow crosses the front of your body, comes to the inner on top or outer edge of your left thigh. Gaze maybe up at that left elbow. Let's release the breath. Bring the left elbow down. Forearms touch. Bring the thumbs back to the heart center. Tuck the tailbone, engage the core, and then rise. Start to lift your body all the way back up. Upward salute. Nice deepened breath there as we now ready and prepared for our energizing sequence. So I'm going to step back to the top edge of my mat here. Join you as you receive the breath and upward salute. Release the next breath. Open the arms out. Soften the right knee. Pick that right leg up again. But this time step it all the way back. Reach back. It's the high crescent with the wingspan arms. Engage that right leg. And then rise up through the fingertips. High crescent lunge. Lean back a little. Feel the expansion through the front body, the strength through the back body. And as you release the breath, we're going to go to a humble high crescent lunge. So the arms flow through wingspan. We hip hinge, chest drawing towards the top of the left thigh, or just the inside a little bit. And then the arms circle back. Reverse ragdoll, hold an opposite wrist or fingers interlace, gaze down. And if the fingers are interlaced, maybe they start to lift away from the back body. We're going to focus on a beginner spirit in our energizing here. This is when we really listen and look for qualities of the beginner spirit, energy, emotions, and this inner awareness. Release the breath. Just release the arms. They're going to circle down. They're going to begin to reach forward. We're going to rise the body back up. Everything with the lower body stays strong and steady. And then very gently open those arms to your sun goddess. Elbows bend. Draw the elbows back. Spread the fingers wide. Receive the breath. Return. High crescent. Lift and reach. Really engage that back right leg so it really supports this lifting and reaching through the upper front body. Open to warrior two. Breath releases. Release the right arm. Spin the right heel down. You got this. Both arms open wide, and then gaze over those left fingertips. This inner awareness and mindfulness that keeps calling for recognition in yoga. Honor it here. Notice your energy. Notice your mood. Beginner spirit. Let's receive this next breath. Stretch out the left leg. Prepare for reverse triangle. Hips level, shoulders releasing, arms reaching. Release the breath. Right arm releases down. Left arm reaches high. Couple breaths. Explore into your possibilities here. Just listen. Breathe. You got it. And then slowly return back. Slowly bring your body back into your warrior two. Soften that front left knee. And then very gently begin to draw the palms together at the heart center. So body is facing the long edge of your mat. Hips stay open. Lower body's in warrior two position. Receive the breath. Lift the heart. Release the breath. Side angle. So maybe you just want to stay. You're really exploring today. Maybe the thumbs stay right at the heart. And you just start to bring that left side of your body over towards the top of your left thigh. Maybe you bring that left forearm to the top of the thigh. Maybe you bring that left arm down to the inside. or even outside of your left leg. You might keep the right thumb right at the heart. You might bring the hand onto the hip. You might reach the arm up high to the sky. What is working for you? Be curious. Beginner's mind. Let go of expectations. Stay in alignment with breath. Beginner's body. And then really listen inwardly to this beginner spirit. As you release the breath, prepare and set up our bodies for half moon. Right hand comes to the hip. Gaze down at the left toes. Slowly stretch out the left leg. Bring that left hand out to the outer edge of your left foot, way out wide, like to the short corner of your mat. And then spin on the ball the right foot. Take a little step in. Now take another big reach out through the left fingers. And then shift the body's weight into the left leg. And begin to rise up through the right leg. Extend through the right heel. Nice. And release the breath. Release the right hand down. Square the hips. Standing split. Shiva squats. Soften both knees. Draw the right knee behind the left knee. Hug them in. Hug them in. Hug your body. Receive. Reach the right leg out. Just a hip width now. And again, bending the knees, hugging the body in. Receive. Reach out. And release. Hug it all in. And then slowly step that right leg forward. Soften, keep the knees softened here. Ragdoll, just to hold opposite elbows. Just really let those shoulders release. Let the head release. Let the arms release. Receive the breath. Begin to rise. Reach out the arms. Lift up your body. Palms up. Arms up. Upward salute. When you receive this next breath, keep the right leg strong. Soften the left knee. Pick up the left foot again and cross it on top of the right leg. But step it out wide. So it might even be off your mat right now. Maybe you keep the arms lifted. Maybe you interlace the fingers and spin the palms. Maybe you open the arms, keep the hands on your hips. Receive this next breath. Align and release the breath. Reach over to your left side. Firm the thigh muscles together and reach over to the left. And we come back up into the center. Micro bend, soften both knees. Bring that left foot back, plant it down, palms touch, fingers touch. Feel the touching. Inner awareness. Release the breath. Draw the thumbs down to your heart center. Close the eyes. Follow breath. Listen. And with our very next breath, we're going to practice for the opposite leg forward. So in your prayer mountain pose, you receive this next breath. Eyes open, and you rise up through the fingertips, upward salute. You muscular energize the right leg now. Soften the left knee. Pick up that left foot. Step it all the way back. reach back, and then open the arms through wingspan. Hold the wingspan for a moment. Get the back left leg muscular energized. So it's high crescent through the lower body with your wingspan arms, and then humble high crescent. Palms come down, hips hinge. You circle the arms behind you. Whatever is going to be the best practice for you. Let those arms reach behind you, and then humble crescent lunge. So the head bows, the breath receives. If the fingers are interlaced behind you, you might lift them up. Receive this next breath. Stay present. Remember, the beginner spirit is as simple as energy, emotion, or as complex as your inner guiding principles. But you're always listening, that inner awareness. The releasing breath, arms release. Receive the breath. Begin to reach the arms forward and lift your torso back up. Fingertips are reaching. Body is strong. Open your arms to your sun goddess here. Open those arms. Shoulder blades down. Elbows draw back. Heart center lifted. Receive the next breath. Return. High crescent lunge. And you're going to open to the warrior two. The breath releases. Left arm reaches forward, circles down. Spin the left heel down. Open the arms out. Gaze out over those right fingertips. Couple breaths to check in. Beginner's body. You know what to do. Beginner's mind. Let go of competition, expectations, judgment. And beginner's spirit. Energy, mood, and then listen, listen, listen. From warrior two, we begin to transition to reverse triangle. Receive a breath. Stretch out the right leg. Right palm and arm lift. Release a breath. Left arm comes down, softly touching the outer edge. Left leg. One more breath here. Nicely done. And then receive. Come back into your neutral position. Open the arms out. Warrior two. So you bend the right knee again. And then gently turn the head to face the long edge of your mat. Draw the palms together at your heart center. Hips are open to the long edge of your mat. Your body is facing the long edge of your mat. Elbows are reaching, palms are touching, and release the breath. Side angle. So it's your choice, yogi's choice. How would you like to transition your body into your side angle? Express it fully. Take your time. Open into it, strengthen into it, breathe into it. And then recall, oh yeah, this is the month in review where we bring it all together. We see the bigger picture of every practice we've done this month. Our beginner's body, mind, and now spirit. From side angle, we begin to transition to half moon. Left hand comes to the left hip. Gaze down at your right toes. Bring that right arm over to the outside of your right foot. Pick up your left heel. Spin on the ball of the left leg. Step forward a little bit with the left leg. Stretch out the right leg. Just notice these individual moves that prepare you for the full practice. And then you might reach that right arm forward again. Remember, it's like a tripod for half moon. Now you shift your body weight forward and you start to rise up through that left leg. You keep extending through the left heel. Keep strengthening through the right leg. And release the breath. Very gently bring that left hand down. Square the hips. Standing split. Hip hinge. Bow. Let the head release. Maybe elbows bend. Fingertips only. Framing that right foot far, far out. Tripod style. And then Shiva squats. Bend the left knee. Bend the right knee. Hug the left knee behind the right knee. Hug your body in. And then reach out the left leg just a hip high. And again. Release. Reach it out. Just hip high. Bow the head. And then softly bring that left leg forward. Ragdoll. Forward fold. Knees soften. Hands opposite elbows. Swing and sway. Flow. Release. And then we'll rise up. Release your ragdoll arms. Open them out. Lift up, upward salute again. Notice when your palms do turn up for upward salute. Maybe you've been practicing lifting your toes for upward salute. Maybe your body has got that muscle memory and is practicing that now without your beginner's mind. Notice if that has evolved. And you might keep arms just shoulder width apart or fingers interlaced or hands on hips. But muscular energize the left leg, cross the right leg on top of the left leg. Step it out wide. Might even be off your mat. Hips facing front, shoulders releasing down, and release the breath. Now reach over to your right side. Couple more reaches, couple more breaths. Explore. Discover the beauty of your practice. And we'll rise up together, receiving breath. Nice. Soften both knees, micro bend. Get the left leg a little bit stronger. Pick up that right foot, plant the right foot down, open the arms out, forward fold. So maybe it's a swan dive now with straighter legs. Maybe you really enjoy the ragdoll forward fold today and you go there. Maybe you've got another forward fold that's serving you right today. Excuse me. 2 more breaths. Forward fold. And then very gently, half lift. Let's bring our palms onto our shins today. And let those shoulder blades release deeper into the back body. Gaze down so the neck stays lengthened. And soften the knees together. Micro bend them together. Plant the palms down. Step back, tabletop. Just let the body return to one of the warming practices with your tabletop and then spinal wave. 1 round. Tailbone tucking, head bowing. Receiving breath. Tailbone lifting. Crown of the head lightly lifting. And then come back to your neutral position. And we'll begin finishing well as we focus on the union of beginner's body, beginner's mind, beginner's spirit. So we'll flow through tabletop to child's pose. Receiving breath, tabletop. Releasing breath. Reach back through child. Just flow into it with the breath. When you receive the breath, bring your body back to your tabletop. When you release the breath, kind of a downward wave, tailbone tucks and head bows, and you just reach back in towards child. You receive and you come back to tabletop. Now just begin to flow with that. So being present, focusing on the sensations of your body for this union of how the body moves together in yoga. This alignment, breath connection, honoring the edges, beginner's body. The very next time you've brought your body into your tabletop, please pause and then begin to touch the big toes or overlap the tops of the big toes if they're not already there, but widen the knees to the long edges of your mat and reach back to wide child's pose. So just keep reaching, keep releasing, surrendering, letting go. To review the union of the beginner's mind in yoga. It's where we allow this notion of competition, expectations, and judgment to let go, to honor who you are today, to be present fully with each move and each breath. And this helps to create curiosity and explore deeper the beginner's mind, the union of bringing that all together. One more breath, wide child, nicely done. And then we'll rise back up. So breath moves body, we receive a breath, head begins to lift, torso begins to lift, palms come right underneath your shoulders. Press down into the palms, get those strong arms activated, and then hover the knees, bring them back to hip width apart, tops of the feet back down. Flow through the seated pose into the supine constructive rest pose. So when you come through your seated pose, soften the knees, keep them hip width apart. Beginner's body, remember. You can use the forearms as support to soften the body down one vertebrae at a time, or on your own with a little extra core strength. You're listening, you're honoring. And when you're in your constructive rest pose, knees softened, feet planted, arms by the sides. Receive a breath here. And when you release this next breath, just soften and bring the lower lumbar spine into your mat. Pelvic tilt. Receive the breath. Just allow that practice to soften on its own. Let it go. Beginner's mind. How about that? Release the breath. Press the small of your back down. Notice that nice little gentle realignment and neutralization, and then let it go. Just let your body bring that little curve in your low lumbar spine back into where it naturally lives. And then we'll do kind of the same thing for the shoulders now. So the arms are down by your sides. And when you receive the breath, kind of reach the fingertips just a little bit further towards your heels. And then start to let them rise. So lift them up away from your mat. Lift them up, high up above you. Turn the palms to face each other. Release the breath. Draw the shoulder blades down into the mat. Now the arms might widen when you do that. Receive the breath. Lift up through the fingertips. Lift the shoulder blades up, away from the mat. Release the breath. Draw just the shoulder blades down. Couple more. So this beginner's body and this beginner's mind, the union of bringing it all together. One more time. And then come back to the neutral position. And release the breath. Release the arms. Reach them all the way through the wingspan. Circle them down. Bring them back down by your sides. When you receive the next breath, just notice body's alignment, where the breath is felt. And then we'll begin to prepare our body for a supine twist. So let's begin just to reach the arms out again and let them circle overhead. Now, if the shoulders need to stay in this reprieve resting place, just allow them to do that. And when you release the breath, kind of let your body just make that little C curve, like a little banana curve over to the right. So the arms kind of just flow over to the right. The legs just kind of flow over to the right. You can stretch the legs out now and just let the inner edges touch each other. So you have a nice long banana C-shaped curve. And then just slowly bring your body back into the center. Just allow arms to, they're just on the floor, on the mat. They're just circling. And then go over to the left. Create that nice little banana curve, C-curve shape over to the left side. Notice where you can really let go of some holding on, some resistance here. You've done good work with beginner's body and mind and spirit here. So you're really paying attention. And you can honor this into discovery and curiosity. Come back into that center. Nicely done. Allow the arms to just come out to the wingspan. And then sun goddess. So the elbows bend. Back of the hands are onto the floor. Now notice if you can start to just tuck the chin a little bit to lift up the back of the head, and then interlace the fingers once again behind the back of your head. Elbows stay out wide like sun goddess. There you go. Soften or bend both knees so that the soles of the feet are planted down, and draw the inner edges, ankles, knees, thighs together. And we're just going to flow into this simple supine twist. Receive a breath. Release the breath. Knees release over to the right. Receive. Bring them back to center. Release your breath. Let the knees release over to the left. Receive. Bring them back to center. So Continue with that flow if that serves your body, or begin to just allow several deepened breaths as the knees continue to release over to one side or the other. Yogi's choice. Flow into this. When we listen with this inner awareness or this mindfulness of self, we recognize emotional balance, the union of this beginner spirit in yoga. Begin to bring your practice into balance. So if you've just been on one side, really deepening into it, please return to your center and begin exploring into the opposite side, or just flow one breath, one movement, for just a few more rounds of breath. Come back into that center. Nice. Softly separate the feet and the knees to hip width apart. Gently slide the fingers away from each other. Tuck the chin lightly to lift the back of the head. Bring the arms down by your sides. And then let both feet be lifted together with or without support, and give yourself a wonderful little hug. Hugging the thighs towards the chest, hugging the knees towards the armpits, and roll from side to side. Gentle massage-like action. Come back to the center. Pause. Elevating both legs together, again with or without support. The union of beginner's body, beginner's mind, beginner's spirit. How you bring this alignment breath, letting go of competitions, expectations, judgments, listening to this inner self, your mindfulness, bringing these together in union to practice full presence in your yoga. And very gently begin to let the knees soften. Transition to Shavasana. Gentle releasing of the legs onto your mat. Unless it's yogi's choice to keep the feet elevated, then do that. Rest softly, quietly, and gently in your Shavasana today. gently draw your awareness to that place between your eyebrows. Expanding that awareness into your space. Wiggling through your toes, fingers, perhaps ankles and wrists. Inviting your next breath to awaken you as you give your body an awakening stretch. And from this awakening stretch, knees softly bend, turning onto your right side. And begin to rise into your seated pose. In our easy seated poses with our Anjali Mudra, we receive a deepened breath. As we release the breath, we gently bow forward, thanking yourself for taking this time to reconnect and know everything you did was enough. And we'll rise together. Closing together today. Namaste. Namaste.